Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here today. Today's topic is going to be on mental health is not what you think. We know that we have a crisis. A lot of people's mental health is affected. I'm going to a summit that starts tomorrow at Banff, Alberta, Canada. And excited to be there, but I thought this live before I get there should be on mental health, so that's what we're going to talk about today. So welcome and thank you all for sending in your DMs and comments and asking me questions about readiness OS and how it works and how it can help your child or yourself, or if you're in business, how it can help you perform better in your business and life as well. So this program is a universal program for anyone at any age, at any stage. So I am excited to share with you. So anytime you have a question, send it to me, because I can't really share everything about it on this live, because this live is not for me to talk about my program. It's for me to talk about other issues that we handle them in a different way. I handle them through flow and readiness OS. Most people handle it through strategies, and others just don't handle it at all, and they're in chaos. So there's difference, right? Big difference between how I look at it, and all came through my suffering and my breakthrough. So it is how humans are built. If we understand how we're built and if we know the code, it's easy to live. But unfortunately, we make it complicated. Everything in life, we have made it complicated because we don't look at it holistically. We look at it segments by parts, so that makes it even harder. So let's look at how we come here and now. So if I'm talking about mental health, we know that our brain can keep us in so many loops and so many stories, take us past into the past, and it can keep us there, right? And especially if you're starting to notice that you're struggling with your mental health, or if somebody you know is struggling with mental health, their stories never stop because there's so many stories. It's unsolved for them, and also the brain creates more stories as well. It can produce more stories related to how they're feeling. So it's just a non-stop of the brain. Well, that's one of the effect of mental health, is the brain never stops. So we in the past, if I'm thinking about the past, our brain loves to beat us up. Even a normal day, it's beating us up. It sometimes wakes us up at 3 a.m. and wants us to look at something that I don't have any interest in thinking about, but it wants to talk about it. So our brain loves to take us to places in the past and wants us to live under go through that again. But the problem is, going through something that's already happened, it's waste of time. But our brain does not know that. We know that consciously. So we have to own our brain and bring our brain back to now and here. If it's not, it's just going to do what it wants to do. So in the past, if you had any problems with your feelings or unresolved emotions, if you have any unresolved emotions, it's going to affect that story, right? That it's going to produce. Going back to it, it's going to say, you should have done this, you could have done this, why didn't you do this, how come you didn't do that, why didn't you say this? All of these things, if we think about it logically, if I think about it, you think about it, it doesn't make sense because it's already happened. Why are we talking about something that's happened? But our brain likes to do that. But we own our brain, so we could bring our brain back to now and here by telling the brain that we're done with these stories, we're not going to revisit them, I'm just going to take the lessons and I'm going to let it go, and you're going to come here and now, because in this moment is where I can live, I can learn, I can lead myself and others. So you're going to focus on right here. That's what focus means, right? Bringing our thoughts to one place that I want to focus consciously. Another place our brain likes to go is where? To the future. It loves to think about the future. And fortunately, when it thinks about thinking about the future, it likes to think from projecting the past onto the future. So this one is even worse because it's not even allowing me to create a new future. It wants me to look through the lenses of the past and then wants me to design a future through that. So it's really waste of time because future is not in our hands. We know it's available to us, but it's not in your hand or my hand. So why do we want to create this kind of future with our past projected onto it. We don't want to do that. So we also need to let that go, release that, and then also you can bless it. You can bless it and release it because it's available to you, it's available to me, it's available to everyone. Why do we need to create it? We don't need to create it in the future because it's not possible. Creating anything in the future is not possible. What I want to create is right here. This is the only moment you can create. This is the only moment I can create. So why do we want to be in the past or the future? So what I want you to do is let go of the past and release the future. And when you do that, you can be here and now. And this is your anchoring position. In this position, you can decide, what do I want to get done? What do I need to do? What matters now? What is most important now? Where should I focus right now? Right? So then you can start learning. We're always learning. You can start living your life in enjoyment and peace. And then you can lead yourself with confidence and conviction, and lead others in your life same way as well, from consistency. So all of the things that we talk about as a byproduct comes through being here and now. The most expensive thing that we have right now is a lot of us have such hard time bringing ourselves to here and now, and that's happening with students, that's happening with teachers, because we are so busy thinking about rest of the other things except what we want to do here, especially if we start living in survival mode. And that's happening to a lot of us because a lot of things are happening in the world. So in that case, a lot of people slip themselves into the survival mode. When we're in survival mode, guess what? That's kind of where we live, in the past and the future, except now. And that makes us stuck, right? It keeps us stuck. So how else can I bring myself now and here? By breathing. Breathing is so important. So let's take an inhale for 4. Hold for 4. And then now exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. And exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. This time you're going to release any pressure, any anxiety, anything you've been storing. Let it go for 8. Counting is not that important. It's about you breathing. That's the most important. So how are you feeling now? You should feel relaxed. You should feel settled. You should feel like you are back to now and here. So breathing is another thing that we take it for granted because we always have it, but we don't use it to this intentionally to breathe. We do breathe. I know you do breathe because you're here. But the thing is, we don't do it intentionally. The minute we do it intentionally, it changes our state, right? So it's important. So we're going to talk about the mental health crisis, right? That's what I'm talking about today. So I'm going to say something that's going to make all of you who are listening uncomfortable because somebody has to say it, right? We don't have a mental health crisis. What we actually have is a human system that's overloaded, misaligned, and running without recovery. So let me say that again. We don't have a mental crisis. We don't have a mental health crisis. What we have is a human system that is overloaded, misaligned, and running without recovery. You or no one else is broken, but some days you can focus and some days we can't, right? No one's broken. But some days is that we can focus, some days we can't, some days we are calm, some days it feels like too much, right? For some people, that's how they live, always in that too much state. Some people, some days feel calm. So it's the same person, it's the same life, right? You're the same person, you're the same life, my life is the same, I'm the same person, I have the same responsibility. Why is it that some days it's too much, some days I feel calm? Because my internal state is what's making that possible, right? So that's not inconsistency. That's just my system talking to me. The state of my system is talking to me some days differently than the other days. Now, we've been told mental health is about managing thoughts and emotions, right? That's some of it, right? But no one taught us how the system underneath actually works. When life demand is higher, so when life is demanding higher than your internal capacity, your system is going to do what? Work harder for you? No, that's not what systems do. The system is going to get very overworked, so it's going to turn to protect you. So it's going to create anxiety, burnout, shutdown, overwhelm. So when we look at these things, we think they're failure, but they're not failures. They are protection responses from our system, our body. It's trying to protect me. They are protection responses. So I want to give you a model, a visual here. So think of your system like a battery, right? Full battery. What is it? What happens when your phone is full of battery? It's going to work good. Everything is going to be fast. You can get things done right on your phone even. But in us, we have more clarity when it's full. We have more focus and we have more patience when our battery is full. But when it's drained, what do we normally see? We see foggy, right? It's foggy, it's overwhelmed, and also it's very reactive, right? Most people are trying to perform on 10% battery and blaming themselves as not being consistent. Yeah, we're some days we are operating in that, right? Mental health is not something to fix. So mental health is not something to fix. It's something to understand. What if nothing is wrong with you and everything is happening because your system is trying to protect you? How is it that we can think like that? If we keep saying something is wrong with me, something's wrong with me, I am depressed, I'm this, I'm that, instead of saying that, what happens if we say that my system is trying to protect me? So, how do we figure out when the system is talking to us? When everything feels overwhelmed? Everything feels like falling apart and you keep trying to push through things. That's when you know your system is talking to you. It's giving you signal and you're not reading it right. And if we ignore that for so long, guess what happens? It turns into mental health issues because we haven't taken care of it. So I want you to do something with me right now. Do nothing. Just sit and just notice your breaths. Just notice how you breathe. How are you breathing? Just notice that. And then I want you to notice your body. How are you sitting? Where is it hurting? Just notice your body. Do you notice how your body and mind probably feels like it wants to move faster? Even I'm talking slower right now. You might think, what's wrong with her? Why shouldn't she faster? I'm doing that with intention because most people haven't paused like this all day and we expect our system to function perfectly. We're so go, 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 go that we don't realize that how much we never stop to breathe. We never stop to notice our body. We just want it to keep working, right? Our mind and body is just keep working. So we never pause. When was the last time you gave yourself a pause? So pushing harder is not going to solve anything when we're in this state. You need to understand your system and how to work with it, not against it. This is a living biological being. I have systems working for me to keep me functioning. Don't I want to understand about those systems that is keeping me alive? Wouldn't that help me to understand how everything works so that I can then not work against it, work with it? Wouldn't that make sense for me to know this? Like if a car mechanic wants to fix a car, he has to know all the parts. He has to know internal systems. He can't just be a mechanic who just knows about the car externally. Yeah, it drives, it's got good tires, it doesn't matter. He has to know what's under the hood. Same way, we need to know what's under the skin, but we don't look at it that way, right? We cannot work against our system. It's not going to be healthy for us. And that's why we get sick and we get so many symptoms of this, right? When your system is supported, your focus will come back, your energy will come back, and your clarity will come back. And so do you will come back online as well. As a whole person, you will come back, right? So what if your mental health isn't the problem, but it's a signal you've been ignoring and others are ignoring? And that is the cost we're paying right now, the ignoring part, right? Really think about it. What would happen if you start sitting with yourself and slowing yourself down? So here are things that I want you to think about. Number one, system awareness is so important because you are made out of systems, so you need to be aware of the system. If nothing is wrong with you, but everything you're feeling is your system asking for something you haven't been giving to it. Yeah? So nothing is wrong with you. So when you're system aware, you have to say, it's nothing's wrong with me. Everything that I'm feeling is my system asking for something that I'm not giving. So I am in a loop. I've created a loop that I don't want to close. And I am doing this to myself, right? And then there is also capacity truth, right? We all have our own individual capacity to do things. When your life is so demanding for performance, right? All of our lives are so demanding for performance from a system that's already depleted. So how can it have the capacity to do anything if it's already depleted? So how long have you been calling something stress or anxiety when it's actually exhaustion you or I or the whole world have normalized? We normalized, and we even say it with such proud chest, right? We say like, oh yeah, I'm so burned out. But what are we going to do about it? We got to do something about this. Otherwise, we're just going to go down to stress, then to anxiety, then to depression. So this is why mental health is gone up, because everybody is just busy. It's just too busy for everybody to even take a deep breath and slow down. And then we normalized it. We normalized exhaustion, which is crazy, right? Who normalizes exhaustion? Human beings supposed to rest, have lots of rest so they can have energy to do things, right? So here's a question for you. Who would you be if you stopped believing you were inconsistent and start seeing that your system has not been supported, or you've been unsupporting your systems? So obviously you're going to have inconsistency. Obviously you're going to feel stress because things are not supported within your body. The systems are not supported within our body. So here's another question that's powerful. What are you still trying to push through that your body has been asking you to slow down and listen to? Where have you been pushing? What have you been pushing hard that something inside of you is stirring that says, I need to take care of this, right? So what is the one thing that your system needs right now? Not tomorrow, not 2 days, not in 1 month. Right now, what does your system need? Think about it for a moment. What does it need? So, if your system is the foundation for everything in your life, why have you been treating it like the last priority? Why are we treating this as the last priority and everything else gets so elevated? So it's just strategies for life, right? Hacks and all these personal development people, everyone who are like, oh, do this, do that, do this, do that. But the thing is, the foundation is understanding the system and prioritizing the care of it. So, here are some questions I want to leave you with today as I head over to the Mental Health Summit. I want you to think of some of these questions because it's really important to look at them, right? So, how many of us thought that mental health is something we can fix, right? In turn, it's something that we have to really learn how to look at it from the system perspective so that it can give us guidance on what to do here. Instead of thinking it's just in my brain, it's actually in everywhere. It's in your body, everywhere, right? So why do we feel inconsistent? Because of we're not looking at it from the system perspective. And what's really happening underneath anxiety and burnout? Really, the systems are offline, not in alignment, misaligned, and unactivated. And then when that's happening, do you think pushing harder is going to work for you or anyone you know? Or is it going to bring more exhaustion and more depression so that they can finally be having a mental health crisis? So this is a powerful question, right? It's very powerful. I'm asking you something very powerful. How can we think that we're just going to push harder and harder and harder when we know that's impossible because your body is already telling you it's impossible? So, do we have a mental health crisis? No, we have a system awareness problem. We have a system overload problem. We are not looking at it from the right perspective, the problem. We're labeling it, we're giving so many meanings, but except we're not doing it. We're just not doing it from the system perspective. I've been telling every time I come here, I tell all of you that if you want to solve a problem, you have to look at it holistically. If you want to solve a problem, you have to understand how this system work, this body, the whole body works. We can't just do external strategies and hacks and techniques. It could be the world's best, but if I'm not in alignment or activation, forget it, nothing is going to go. So why don't we take the time? Why don't we take the time to understand about the systems and what we can do to help ourselves and others? Why can't we do that? Why can't we take the time to do that? Wouldn't that be so beautiful to do it? Have we ever let ourselves recover? Like we're always go, go, go. Have you ever let yourself recover from the day or what is happening in your day? Not really, right? It's not in the culture. It has to be push, 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 push. And then we are going into this really breaking point. And it's sad to see so many people struggling. And that's why, our movement is to serve 1.5 billion humans by 2035, ending the human suffering, because we know how to take control of our brain. We know and we understand how our systems are created and how they act to give us results. So if we know both of those, I think 1.5 billion people by 2035, it seems again a small number to me, because we have what it takes to solve this. Readiness OS begins with the system. Readiness OS begins with honoring the person and their biology and their neurological pathways, because it's very special to each, special and unique to everyone. So we need to honor that. So as I talk about mental health, really today, really think about, when have you stopped to take a break? When are you giving recovery time? When are you not overworking? And if you are doing overworking, why are you overworking? What else can you do not to overwork? What's going on? Because when you suffer with mental health, anyone you take care of, it could be a parent, educator, your clients will also feel that from you because it's an energy field and you're going to induce that onto them. So it's really important for you to work on yourself and come home to yourself and be grounded before you guide others, right? So mental health is a real thing, but it's not what you think it is, because it's not about the brain and how it's working only. It's about how all your systems are either in alignment and activation, or if they're not. If they're not, then it's in chaos. So then we're going to get signals and we're going to ignore it. And before we know it, we are now into very deep depression or anxiety. Now we need to see a doctor, right? Now we passed the coaching point. We are now in the deeper end. So if you know anyone, if you are struggling with mental health, talk to people. You're not by yourself. I can guarantee you that. We have, when I grew up, I also had a lot of stress, right? So I could say I was depressed sometime myself. So looking back, I wish, I had more people to talk to. But we are so connected at the same time, we're so disconnected. It's hard for us to open up. And we don't know who's going to be the one who's going to help me, or they're going to put me down for saying something like differently, right? But it doesn't matter. More people start saying Readiness OS is the missing link, right? That's all it is. That's how it goes. So thank you for listening. I'm headed to the Mental Health Summit. In a few more days, I'll be there. I'll be recording the next live from the live event so that I can show you. And then you can see our coach who's coming to help me as well. Coach Tony will be there with me. So we're excited to see what everyone is bringing to this conversation. And we are so excited to also offer another perspective, because definitely Readiness OS does not fit into anybody else's conversation, except it has been proven and it's ready to be used by anyone and for anything. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.